I became a different Terri because I was in pain. And I wonder myself, how are we going to stop this payment? If I start over again, I would not believe in credit score. I have so many type of credit card, Macy card, Nordstrom cards. I have anxiety in myself, couldn't sleep at night for months. Debt is it's just like a rope. It just pull harder, it trap you harder. Whatever's your situation, you're not alone.
Hi, and welcome to the Key Concepts podcast. Money is one of the biggest sources of stress in people's lives, but it's also one of the least talked about topics when it comes to real solutions, which is why I'm excited to have my special guest with me today, Terri Klein, a Ramsey Solutions Master Financial Coach. Terri, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me today. My pleasure.
Terri, for someone who's never heard of Terri NK Financial Coaching, how would you explain what you do?
I serve people at the heart of the teachers. I guide people understanding offense and defenses with the money. I help people with the healthy money habit by focusing on budgeting, debt-free living, behavior changes. I personally walk with clients step by step to achieve financial peace.
Financial peace. I think that's something that we all need nowadays, especially with the markets and the crazy world that we're living in. If you don't mind me asking, how long have you been doing financial coaching yourself?
Officially started last year to kind of reach out more people. Majority of time that I serve by virtual coaching, which is through Zoom. Some people refer a phone call. I love to serve those type of local people as well. I serve people majority of individual or family, especially single woman, divorced woman, married woman. I have a special case that the married woman that they have to live with a husband with their, especially in their financial life separately. They don't combine financials together. After she's signed up coaching session with me, the following month I follow up with her. I was shocked to hear the news that she divorcing from her husband. A couple months later, she's finalized her divorce, and she shares with me that she was able to pay off debt, be able to buy a home, and also she starts saving her retirement.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, getting out of debt. I mean, it's unfortunate, a divorce and the splitting of the incomes, and it makes it stressful and hard on everybody. But if they're able to figure out how to recoup from those finances and being able to sustain themselves, that's ultimately the best thing. If you could be debt-free, be stress-free, that's where we all want to be at the end of the day. So when you got into financial coaching, did you have to get any degrees or did you have to go through any programs to kind of learn the industry and become that coach?
Financial coaching is different than financial advisor. Financial advisor, that's a person that has to help you investing and build wealth with your money. Financial coaching is the heart of the teacher to guide you through the process, making a plan. I personally, big Dave Ramsey fan for a long time. That's how I start my journey with the financial freedom. So I found his program over 2 years ago. I joined and I finished the program after several months. And I want to be a Ramsey Solution Master Financial Coach.
Nice. So you went through the Dave Ramsey Financial Coaching Program to get your certification in financial coaching through that accreditation, essentially. Yeah. What would you say is the biggest takeaway you got from that course?
Is the heart of the teachers. It's the heart of helping people from struggling with their real life. It's not on the paper or anything. It's on the real life, how to get out of debt, live less than you make, and especially save for the rainy day. Just it's for a self-secure. And also, I have learned that money is just, you have to learn offense and defense. So For example, that if you want to buy a life insurance, understand what type of life insurance is the best fit for you. Or you want to buy a home, what the best financial strategy that you are able to afford it, instead of just, go through with the flow and buy the home and end up with not affordable.
Yeah, and that's kind of what led to the 2008 crash. A lot of people were in homes that were not affordable. And then as things kind of flipped on their head, a lot of people lost their homes and just got devastated by all the financial chaos and the depression or recession that we went through during that time. So it sounds like you've been doing this for a little while. Was there a situation that you yourself had to get out of to become financial free?
It came to my personal struggling in life. I came to America a long time ago with American dream, chased American dreams, with a better life. But the one thing I end up to learn about debt and credit score hard way, because I used to believe in the credit score to help me to move faster and able to survive in the United States. Quickly, I borrow money like from the smaller one to the larger one, which is like the specialty credit card. I have so many type of credit card, Macy card, Nordstrom cards, everything that you counted for. And then end up with buying the car. I borrow money and then I have the personal loan. After that, I met my husband and we joined our financials together. And I have learned from him that he have debt as well. So we combine our debt and then we not even stop with that. And we start our business and then we have started a business loan. We purchased the trailer. Quickly, we owe over $1 million to get us to where it's very deeper in depth. And after a few years, we married and I keep working really hard and keep paying the bill. And I wonder myself, how are we going to stop this payment? At that time, I did not understand the principal and interest. And my husband told me that we've been paying interest, not the principal. So then that's how I talked to my husband. We need to figure out how to get out of that. At that time, we was almost to file a bankruptcy. We met the bankruptcy attorney twice. And that moment, my light bulb is just in my head. I have 2 children need to raise. I have my folks to support. How I can get out of debt. I have anxiety in myself. Couldn't sleep at night for months. Finally, we filed the Ramsey principle. We took the course and we started and we implement in life. And quickly, we able to pay off our debt and gain our money confidence in life back and able to save money for emergency. But at that time, it not even stopped in our life. I don't know if you remember, it's a couple years ago, Sacramento have a big storm, like where a lot of trees fallen, our roof blown away, and it's damaged really bad. And at that time, we able to use our emergency money to cover the cost instead of have the mindset that I need to borrow money to pay it. At that moment, my passion, my feelings that I used to feel that came to me. I wonder how could other people to do the same way that I just did. So that's why I started finding the way how I can coach people and help people in their life.
Helping someone else is one of the biggest rewards. So I'm glad that you're kind of sharing with other people your strategy and how you did it. But I want to go back to a few things that you said. So you said that early on you took on a lot of debt and you were looking at making the payments and you were making the interest payments and the debt wasn't going down. You're like, when am I going to get out of this debt? So what is the difference from paying the principal versus paying the interest? Like, why did that never go down? Did you just have high interest rates? And what was that situation?
It's just like when people loan you money, they get the high interest. They want to collect the interest fast before very low on the principles. So at that time, I was able to understand that the more I payment every month, it just give the lender rich and I'm become a poor. And that's why I have to start the debt snowball method. Because since you have so many debt in play, you don't know how to prioritize this, which one you gotta pay first, which one you're not paying first. So we gotta pay the smallest one and then to the largest one, so you can feel that you win in the little bit of the process of pay off the debt.
So when you're borrowing debt, you really have to look at what your interest payment is going to be every month, because that's going to help you determine if you're ever going to be able to get out of it. So, and then you mentioned the snowball method to then pay off the smallest debt to the largest debt, so you could get the little wins and the confidence to keep going. But you also said one more thing early on, is that when you came to America, you were wanting to build your credit score. So you took out a lot of credit cards, you car loan, and so on and so forth. And I hear that from my friends too, especially my friends that come from overseas. The first thing they think about is like, how do I get a car loan? How do I get a credit card? So is the credit score really important? Is that a good thing to go after, or was that a mistake?
Honestly, if I speaking right now at this moment, if I start over again, I would not believe in credit score. I used to believe in credit score to help me move to survive in the United States. It's just make me in debt deeper. If I start over again, came from different country, if somebody met me, I would say start small. Just like you just go to work, save money, and then buy what you want to buy, because that's why you don't not in the trap of the debt. Debt it's just like a rope. It just pull harder, it traps you harder. Life is better when you are debt free.
That's a good way to put it. Life is better when you're debt free. Yeah, I guess it's a misconception that people think like they have to get the credit score, they have to get the debt, and that kind of leads them into this cycle of just being stuck. So Terri, on your website, you have 4 core services, and I want to kind of get into each one. The first one is, what is the groundwork? Master Your Money. What is that program about? How does it work?
I created Groundwork Master. I would think about that. Some people doesn't know how to do budget. When I start my journey to get out of debt, I have no idea about budgeting. My husband say that we need to start doing budget. You need to figure it out how to do it. I was so frustrated and don't understand how to start at all. So that's why I started this course where people doesn't understand it, how purpose of the budgeting, how important to our life. For me, it's just like a foundation. When you build a house, you need to have the concrete. And when your concrete is sturdy and established, you can build up the 4 walls. So that's why this course is like 90 minutes to 2 hours, where I can talk to a client that what do you understand about budget, how to prioritize any expenses. Income is just straightforward income, but expenses is just like a variety. Which one is important to your life, and which one is you have prioritized first. That's where it starts. And also for the debt, if they have a lot of debt, which one we should tackle first. Which one we should, kind of push back, especially when you come into the debt that you have collection, special IRS. Those you have to move up to the top of the list. You don't want to mess up with, IRS. They can take your money away no matter what happens. Collection is just kind of stressful. When every time or they call, you kind of feel shame and doesn't want to deal with that. That's how we're Groundwork Master that kind of explain a little bit of foundation to understand what's going on when you do budgeting.
It sounds like the overall concept is money saved is money made. If you organize your finances, you know what's needed versus what's disposable income or optional, then you could see where you can save, what is your true expenses, and then you said the IRS is more of a requirement, and then the debt collectors are just more stressful. Is there a way to deal with them? Is there a strategic way to maybe lower the debt or get out of that debt for those debt collectors?
The beautiful of it that you have to deal with it no matter what. But the second is that you have to be calm, and then you need to make a plan. You can be negotiate with that and see that they can make a money, down for you. But the thing that you have to have in writing, not verbally. So every step that they talk to you, they make the deal that you can lower your debt. If you want a settlement, the certain dollar amount, you should be in writing. And also never give your bank account information away because they can harmful to you. Also, when you have a large debt in the collection, when you're able to save the little bit money, you can talk to them in confidently. Hey, I have this much of money. I can settle right now. But remember, it has to be in writing, not verbally.
Nice. So there are strategic ways to lower debt and deal with debt collectors by negotiating that, getting it in writing. And as long as you have it in writing, then you could settle. But until you don't have it in writing, don't do anything, essentially.
Well, because, when you talk to him, it's just a talk, is in writing. That's where you can prove that we have the deal right here. So that's how we're going to take care of it.
Now, could you do that same thing with credit card interest rates? Let's say I have $10,000 with Bank of America or Wells Fargo. Can I negotiate those interest rates down at least so that maybe every month when I make a payment, it will actually pay the principal instead of the interest?
In some cases, I would say yes, but the key is you have to stop borrowing. If you're working on debt management strategy, want to get out of debt, some situation we can use that method to negotiate, make it low, so you can have time to pay off your debt. But I'm not encouraged to do that when you keep borrowing money, because otherwise you cannot solve the problem. You make the problem getting bigger.
Yeah, that's a good point. You don't want to make the problem bigger, so don't take on more debt. Just because you're saving now and paying that off doesn't give you permission to go take on more debt. That kind of defeats the purpose. What is your back office lifesaver program and who is it designed for?
The back office lifesaver program that I created actually for the small business owner. Personally, I work with a business owner. I have a little bit background how to manage the back office. And same thing, I have the heart of the employee to work where I care about money in and out. And also the owner should know exactly where the money goes, whether is 1 cent or bigger dollar amount. I specialize in the automotive industry where I know exactly, even from the vendor, I know exactly what's going on, what they short us on the credit, or they overcharge us some other stuff. And also as the small business owner, it's the same way with the personal life. They should be managed on the debt, not taking so much loan, use the profit to expand instead of borrow money to expand the business. Also, in the back office is where even you have somebody work for you, you have to know how to make sure that they care about your financial situation, which is need to know which account need to pay out. If people that have the account receivable need to maintain the collect money in the timely manner. For a business owner, they should do a budget, know exactly what expenses every month. And also income is just like the revenue. Monthly, it could be, some month is high revenue, some month is low. So you they need to know how to do projection.
Yeah, the projections are good, the forecasting, so you could have a game plan of what's coming in, what's going out. So it sounds like that back office program is more of the bookkeeping, the accounts receivable, payable, and some of the financial management on the business side. So what is the Take Control Tuesdays budgeting basics program that you do?
Actually, I have a client that a couple. And normally a couple, married couple, I recommend that they need to do budgeting weeklies. Like it's called Monday meeting budgeting. So I thought Monday is just like, starting the week and, have something, a lot of things to do. So I picked Tuesday because that's where everything already begin a week, so we can start checking in on Tuesday. This is the program is for the group coaching. It's not like one-on-one. So if people know how to do budget but doesn't have accountability partner to manage that. So just a group coaching, if they don't mind to share their financial situation each other, they could be in the group coaching. They can learn, some tip and trick, how to save money, how to get out of debt quickly, and which way. So that's why I created a Tuesday budgeting basic, where people can get together and checking their expenses.
Yeah, no, that's good. Tuesday's a good day. It's like holidays fall on Mondays and Fridays, and so Tuesdays is a good day to get the week going. And Mondays, people are running errands and getting caught up. So the group setting where people can share tips and feedback and their testimonies and successes to encourage one another and keep each other accountable. That's a great program. You also have a clarity call, which is your initial coaching session. So when someone first reaches out to you, what does that initial clarity call look like?
Another word that people could call it consultation. So where I meet people that I can learn, especially in financial situation, and also I need to see that we can fit together, and also so I can see what their vision look like in their financial short term and long term as well. That is like 45 minutes to an hour long. Where I can gather all the information that what's your income, what's your debt situation, what the status of what's your long-term goal when you want to retire, how it look like. Because for coaching, financial coaching is just not focused on the debt and budgeting. We should have looking for our future, how it look like. That's what we working on and fighting on about it.
Yeah, that's great, because it's more than just your debt and your current situation. It's like, well, what about next year or 5 years from now? You're able to kind of target a game plan. And then on the follow-up calls, you could dive deeper, make sure everything's coming out correctly and is forecasted properly. So yeah, it's more than just about the today. So generally speaking, what are the best ways to save money? Is there some best practices?
To save money, first of all, stop borrowing money. That's very simple. And then if you have in debt, you need to quickly get out of debt quickly. The goal is the debt is 2 years. And then you have to ask yourself that, am I going to change my behavior? Because a part of the overspending is the behavior. Because most people, they doesn't want to give up with their lifestyle, which is they spend and pay here, buy here, and pay later. That's the term that nowadays most people use. That's where they get in too much debt and they don't know where the money go.
Yeah, buy now, pay later. That's crazy. It's not the best way to go about your business. But I think the key thing there is the habit. Are you willing to do the hard work, and are you willing to change your habits? Because everybody wants to get out of debt, but are they willing to change their lifestyle? What about like ways to increase your disposable income? Is there ways to make more money to get out of debt faster, or do things so you can have more money at the end of the month?
Well, that you have the two way. One is you have the increased income, and then the other one you're gonna cut out your spending. So that's why the budgeting needs to come in play. Sometimes when you do budgeting, you're going to find yourself a race there because you overspend on certain stuff, or you don't, or you purchase some stuff that not necessary. For example, you most the stuff that you wanted instead of you needed. So the want is cannot be win with the need. You have to focus and stick with your budget, with your plan, and also track the money where to go. Otherwise, it will be no raise for you.
Yeah, money saved is kind of like a raise. What about increasing your money? Is that like getting a promotion or taking out a second job? Are those recommendations that ever come up?
I definitely encourage that, but depend on the situations. Where budgeting, that when we talking about making the plan, how much in depth that you have income, if it's not covering your expenses, that's where you need to think about find another job that higher pay with your ability, or you need to even work a second job or a third job. It's just a temporary, but the mindset here is that you need to get out of debt. That's why you need to work 2 or 3 jobs. It's like when my personal situation happened, my husband had to work day and night, and I have to find a full-time job. The focus here that we want to pay off our debt as quick as we can. Like I recommend like 2 years. Most case like 3 years if you have student loan. But you just the short term that you have worked that much. Once you pass that stage and you already have mindset that keep going, that's where you can save your money and start investing yourself instead of working another day and night job.
Yeah, so it just depends on everybody's situation. If there's a lot of debt, that's just an option. If you can't handle a second, third job, obviously, that's not going to be recommended. But if you are motivated to really get out of debt, maybe those are ways you could temporarily increase your income. And I think people think about investing in the way where they have to invest in stocks or other areas to get money when they could just get a promotion or they could just get a better job. And that's going to be more than any type of investment relatively immediately, right? When you start looking at the debt and you start coaching someone, what areas is most of the wasteful spending, the optional spending going to?
In and out. So that's where the most people are struggling with it. And also, when you pay in too much in, for example, insurance, you choose the insurance is not correctly, not to buy the right coverage. It could cost you money as well. And then eating out is most common. That people is just a convenient. I'm tired. I just want to go out to eat instead of plan for the week and cook at home. For myself, I work a lot. For every week, I plan the meal for the rest of the week coming up. On my refrigerator, I have meal plan like Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, what we're gonna have for kind of idea, what we have for dinner. And then I already make the plan, I wrap the meals. And when I get home from work, my husband and I cook together, and we able to eat at the right time as well because we make plan. So that's how we're able to success less eating out. Of course, you can eat out, but as long as in your budget or you can, separate your win in life. And if you in too much debt, you should that's not considered eating out at all. You have to focus on the way that you can save the money and pay debt quickly. Once you out of that stage, you're able to do whatever you want.
Man, the eating out is definitely one that I think a lot of people fall into. I know even for myself, when I make my payments to my credit cards, I'm like, dang, there's a lot that went to eating out. I think the other thing that you mentioned was the insurance, and I think people probably overlook this the most. There's so many different car insurance companies, and mostly everybody has a car. The comprehensive coverage, there's probably better rates. And every year when I get a renewal, my rates go up. I call them and they usually cut it down a little bit. Even for my home insurance, like they went like double one year because of all the fires and everything, almost triple. And so I had to call around, and I think I saved almost $2,000 just on the home insurance by just searching and searching and searching for better coverage. What about for a financial plan? Let's say someone has a financial plan, you're now meal prepping, you're reducing the insurances, and you're looking at whatever else. Is there anything that causes people to abandon their financial plan that they end up establishing?
The biggest reason is discourage. When my husband and I was in debt, and we thought that we're not gonna get out of debt. I even asked myself how I'm gonna get out of debt and how long it's gonna be. At that time, husband and wife, my husband and I always talk together, encourage together, and hold us accountable to able to stick with our plan, our budget, especially budget, our plan. And then we take a small step at a time to achieve our goal, our financial goal.
Yeah, so it's just kind of getting unmotivated, getting stressed out, and then you're like just giving up. So getting the motivation from one another, holding each other accountable, encouraging each other kind of helps you kind of stay on track. So it's good to have some accountability or a partner to walk you through it so you don't fall out of your plan. And just like you go to the gym, right? You get a personal trainer to help you train. It's kind of like the same concept. So when you're working with people, what's the mindset that you're trying to get them into? Is there what's the main habit you're trying to break?
First of all, I always share with all my clients, whatever's your situation, you're not alone. Because I believe in myself when I have my situation in debt. I thought I only have a lone situation, nobody else. That since I start in this coaching program, I've seen a million of people have the same way, struggling with their finances. That's the first thing you need to encourage yourself. I can. When you say yourself, you can do it. You can do it, and you can achieve your financial goal in life. Especially if you in deep debt, you very shame yourself. You ask yourself, you never get out of it. Stick with the plan, and you will achieve it.
Yeah, it sounds like people might just self-sabotage. They get in their own head and they think they're alone, and that's good. A good habit to break is like stop negatively talking about yourself. Like encourage yourself. You're not alone. There are other people that are doing it, and if other people can be successful, you yourself can be successful. So like, why not you? Are there other things people believe about debt or finances that are not true, but they think are true?
Well, building wealth is just in the part of your doing the saving. So once you you out of debt and you start saving to your life, and then you investing for your retirement. If you buy the home, or if you already have the home and you need to focus on saving money and pay off home quicker. Once you pay off your mortgage, and then that's how you're gonna build wealth, which is that you're gonna use all the money that you have, and then you invest it to your life. Saving is just for a part that for your own secure. Just if something happened with your job, you're able to use emergency fund to cover those struggle time. But after that, you need to reimburse yourself with that emergency fund that you already spent.
But does it have to be so strict? I mean, it sounds like it's just save all the time. Is there like a middle path?
Making the plan short-term and long-term financial goal, that's where you determine that which way you're gonna go. So on the financial step, that you need to get out of debt first, And then you're going to saving into 3 to 6 months for fully funded emergency fund. How you going to figure out that part? That's where that you have to understand how to do budget. You know exactly how much money that you need for that month, and that you're able to save. And after that, you have to save for your retirement. We recommend only 15% of your retirement, depending on your situation. If you're single, that's different story. But if you have a kid and you have mortgage, you have to save money for kid to go college. And highly recommended if you still have the mortgage payment, you're gonna pay it off. Once you done that step, you're able to build wealth. And also don't forget that you're gonna, give away some of money that other people have struggling in life as well by giving a little bit. Have helped them to start up.
Yeah, reinvesting back into the community or keeping in mind some of the donational aspects, the money. So it sounds like there's definitely a structure to it, like what to do first, what to do second, and how to kind of game plan this. But what if I want to take a vacation? Can I still get out of debt and take a vacation, or do I have to just cut everything out?
Unfortunately, when you're in student debt and you have to focus on pay off debt, vacation is kind of like a pause, for a temporary pause. Until you pay off your debt, get out of debt, and then save money for vacation, not borrow money to go vacation. Yes, you can enjoy life, of course, but you have to pay cash when you want to spend.
Okay, so it's living within your means. Like if you can't afford it, just don't do it. You have the debt, it's going to make it worse. So pause it, skip it temporarily, and then you can incorporate that when you have the money to pay it cash instead of paying it with debt, because that's actually going to accrue interest and yada, yada, yada. It's going to be a bigger problem. Speaking about like expenses and finances, if someone's living paycheck to paycheck and they're like, well, how much is a financial coach going to cost? I can't even get out of debt. Am I going to get out of more debt by getting a financial coach? What advice would you tell them?
That's the common feeling about that. A financial coach is a heart of teachers where you are investing yourself with the educate. That's where that financial coach help you guide and create the budget plan, even help you momentum and get your mindset, and you will be surprised that you're able to pay off debts faster. Coaching fee services is just like you investing yourself for a personally education for your life that you never learned how to manage money before. And also you will have the best accountability partner to motivate you, support you with any struggling in your financial situation. I have a client that I've been with her for several coaching sessions that she earned very low income, and we've been together over 6 sessions. We make plan how to pay off debt. We stick with that, but suddenly her situation has shifted to the different direction, which is she need to find a different place to live. So we have to shift different direction, make the plan. As the coach, I'm gonna make sure that she able to afford with the new environment, make sure she able to find a house, also maintain how to pay debt as well. Because as that moment, is called financial crisis, that she need to take care of us. So that's why we pause to paying off debt. We still maintain the minimum payment, but we're not accessory to pay off debt yet, because there are 4 things in your budget is very important. It's called housing, utility, transportation, and food. Those 4 things that you cannot cover them, or any crisis you have to pause. You need to make sure those 4 things to cover before moving on anything else.
Yeah, there's those 4 core services. Yeah, those are kind of your essentials. Now, your mission is to focus on high earning women. And is there a personal story behind that as to like why you chose to focus on that?
It's from my personal myself. I used to earn a lot of money, but I also I spent a lot of money as well because I thought at that time I spend money. I deserve to. I earn a lot of money, so I deserve to spend as well. And also, I believe in debt, and quickly I overspent it that I didn't even know, and then the debt is just like compound more at I expected or awareness that. So that's why I focus on the higher income woman because first of all, they could be a strong woman or could be a very emotion woman that when it's come to financial, I want to help women that know how to control money, especially if they are married and they have their financial separately with their spouse. Just anything happen to their life, they know how to manage their money, control their money, understand budgeting, how to create the plan, how to build their confidence in life. I have the client situation that she's divorced from her husband, and she had no idea how to do budget. She had no idea how to afford herself. She's just very unstable, and her message is get encouraged. When she came to me, that's the clarity call. I can feel her. I can understand her situation. That's where I help her to first is motivate herself back up. That I used to be a same way that I don't understand budgeting. I hate budgeting. Now I love it. After several sessions with me, she able build her confidence to control her money. She able to find a job that she able to cover her own expenses. Because when she left with her husband, she was in deep debt and unable to pay the minimum.
Yeah, and it sounds like early on you were working very hard, and so you gave yourself permission to buy things, to get into debt, and then you're like millions of dollars in debt afterwards. You're like, how am I going to get out of this? And so you kind of are working with women because that's kind of where you came from, and you want to give back to someone that's in your own situation, like the client that you just mentioned, right? She's gone through a divorce. She has a lot of debt. She's got to figure out how to manage her finances. She may have made a lot, but now you got to give her that game plan to follow and that encouragement so they can become debt free. If you would have met yourself while you were going through that process early on where you didn't know about budgeting and you were like, hey, Terri, like this is the future you. The future Terri talks to the prior Terri and says, all this spending is not a good habit. This is going to get you in the debt. Do you think you would have listened to yourself if you would have tried to give yourself advice at that time?
I would not believe in the guidance. I believe in the reason I became a different Terri because I was in pain. I really was in deep pain, and I want to out of it. When you're in deep pain in situation, you will sick of it, and you want to be over with. Of course, with the prior Terri didn't understand about budgeting, hate budgeting, talk about budgeting. It's just like a stranger talking to sell. Why I have to do that? Because that time Terri did not understand pain. Terri just exploring what's going on in the world. But it took like a lot of years to be able to understand the concept of Terri implement right now. So that's why I would like to help people cut that short, because by the time that you start with your financial situation, get out of debt, and then if you go to own the home, so it's another 15 years. So it could like take 20 years to be able to build well. So I would like to cut that short for people if they would like to approach that. Otherwise, when they get close to retire, that's how I don't want people when they get close to retirement, that's where they freak out how I'm going to retire. Unfortunately, that time is a little bit short, but we can get out of debt at any time. But it just depends on mindset, momentum that you want to do that or not.
Yeah, definitely. The mindset and the momentum to do that or not. So if your future you met the younger you, it may or may not have stuck, but until you were kind of hit rock bottom and you're like, I can't deal with this pain no more, that's when you were more open to figuring out a new way. And so now you're trying to give back to people to get them out of that pain in a shorter amount of time so that they don't have to go through years and years of struggling. So that's very inspirational. That's good. Thank you for doing that or sharing your story. What qualities do you think someone needs to have to be a good financial coach?
Personal myself is empathy, judgment-free, accountability partner. I'm very good at hold people accountable to do every single task has to be accomplished before we move on to the next one. If they're struggling with each action step, I would try to help figure it out what's going on, how we can approach or reach our action step faster or accomplished before we move on with something else.
Yeah, the empathy and the non-judgment, I think, will definitely go a long way. And then reassessing before you move on to the next step. If you could leave everybody with one piece of financial advice, what would that be?
So one piece of financial advice is start up the awareness. I say budgeting is not a beginning is not my thing, but once you do the budget, you have to track all your spending, where it's go. That's how it's align each other. Even you do the budget and you don't track it, the money will be disappear quickly.
So track your expenses. Just have the awareness of what's going on. Yeah, that's good. That's a good piece of financial advice. Terri, is there any aspects of financial coaching that we haven't discussed that you want to dive deeper into?
We talk about general budgeting, but the thing is, another term is called zero budgeting. What does that mean?
Right. So what does zero budgeting mean?
It's very simple. It's income minus expenses equals zero. And income is just income in. Whether you have side job, you have main job, you have third job, or that's income. Expenses, you're gonna think like what you spend, but actually is include your saving as well. If you building, first you have to start up with 1,000 in saving. That's included in your expenses category. That just in case something happened, you get a flat tire. At that time, you quick borrow money. You start focus on build your financial journey. So you can have $1,000 in the bank. Or I highly recommend that you put on the envelope that you can use that money to cover the cost of the flat repair instead of, I'm going to use a credit card to pay that. Also, in the expenses is including your debt as well, which is like the debt management. That's the different method to do. But in expenses, you include all the debt. In majority of your expenses that you have, you must be covered 4 things first, which is food, transportation, utility. You have to make sure those things cover in your budgeting before anything else. That's above of the line. And after that, it's just like your personal expenses. If you have kids, you have kid expenses, education. Also, all your insurance, what type of insurance you have, that you need to list it on as well. If you are in debt, vacation is not in your including your expenses. So everything in income minus expenses that you have to be equal 0, because that's where every single cent that you need to tell money where to go.
Yeah, it's kind of like your baseline, your income minus your expenses. At least you're at zero. That's not getting into more debt. You have a path to stay at zero or get out of debt. And I think the highlight there is if you have that $1,000 of savings, that's kind of preventative for all of like these minor blemishes that happen in life. That flat tire, you need to get that repaired, or you need to go do an oil change, or you got this or this, like the randomness that could throw you off track. That little bit of savings could be, you become your own bank at that point instead of getting into debt for those surprise bills that end up popping up. So that's a good highlight there. Terri, if someone wants to reach out to you, where can people find your phone number, your social media, your emails, your contacts, your website? How do people get in touch with you?
The best method to contact me is text me at 916-607-8274 or visit my website, Terri, Terri, N like Nancy, K like Klein, financialcoaching.com, where you can book me free clarity call. I love to talk to everybody, and hopefully I can be a part of to financial freedom journey.
Awesome. We'll make sure we get it on the screen, and we'll get it in the description below. So for the listeners, if they click into the video or to the audio version, if they open up the details, we'll link back to all your social media contacts and handles so people can reach out to you pretty easily. Terri, we do a section where the last guest leaves a question for the next guest. And the question left for you is, of all the jobs that you could have had, what was that thing that made you get into financial coaching versus anything else that you could have become?
Unfortunately, I feel like my passion. It's just the personal struggling in life. It just fire up in my body. It just, I need to help people. I need to talk to more people. I need to teach people how to manage money, and could be a change generation as well, because I believe in I did not go to school here, but I believe it's in school they don't teach kids how to manage money, understand the principle of the money, how can it help them to be successful in life. Especially I have my teenager right now. That's where I help her to, before she go to college, to not borrow money, stay with where she can afford, find a scholarship to support her school program. And also for people, I would encourage get out of debt, stay focused on it, live less than you make, save for a rainy day. Like I say, life is better than when you are debt free.
Life is better when you're debt free. Yeah, no, that's good. It sounds like it was so significant that you're like, I have to share this with other people. I have to help other people get out of the same struggle that I was in. Terri, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your knowledge with us today. I really appreciate you coming on this episode.
Thank you very much for having me today.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. To the viewers, the good news is that financial change doesn't happen all at once. It happens one decision at a time. Thank you for watching this episode of the Key Concepts Podcast, and we'll catch you on the next one. So take care.
Hey.